Hi Sagittarius, this is going to be your general human design, gemstone, and gate activation reading for the end of August, doing something a little new here. Keep in mind, as always, this is general. It is not going to resonate with everyone that watches. I could also be picking up on the energy of someone around you, although I do mean for this to be about you. If you're new, welcome to Soma Chandra Libra. This channel is just for Libra and Sagittarius, so subscribe and hit the bell, Sag, so you know when I read for you. Link to my website for private readings and to check out Astrology and Human Design is down in the description below. Sagittarius, it looks like the end of August is going to be very interesting for you. Specific gates that are activated for you in your energy body, in your spiritual MRI, in your human design are gates 13, which is in your identity center, which is the center of your body that helps you come into alignment with the direction you're supposed to be going in life, helps you align yourself with love and abundance as well, and helps you figure out who you are and where you are at any given moment. That's gate 13. Gate 55 is in your solar plexus, which in human design we call your emotion center. So there is a focus on the emotion center, and there is a focus on personal identity. With gate 13, I love this deck. Gate 13, the creator of this deck titles this Tell a Better Story, and gate 55 is Love of Spirit. This is the story healer and also an abundant mindset. She interprets these a little differently than traditional human design, but I do very much agree with the interpretations. Sagittarius, there is a strong focus on the stories you're hearing and the stories you are telling other people at this time. You could be utilizing your listening skills quite a bit at the end of the month. There's definitely a need to shift into a perspective of positivity. It's definitely important also with gate 55 coming out and being activated for you at this time that you are aware of your mood. Be very aware of your mood. You could be feeling moody at the end of August, and you need to be okay with that. Shift in and out of your moods, the cycling moods that happen with the moon. It's important to notice your mood, especially when it comes to how it's impacting the stories you tell others. Other people, when they tell you their stories, they could impact your mood very strongly as well. Just important to notice mood and not run from it. Simply see it through a lens of awareness. I'm also picking up that some of you are very nostalgic at this time. You're meant to be looking at things from a new perspective. You're meant to be honing in on the meaning of each story that you hear and the story that you tell other people. What's the meaning of the story? What's the motivation of your story and the motivation of other stories? This gate also comes with a gentle reminder of the importance of forgiveness. We cannot grow together without it. I love the explanation she gives of gate 13. You have a way of taking stories of the past and creating a better story for yourself when you hear other people's stories and you're invited to do so. You listen for the truth. And when you offer this new story or your telling of a story, new perspectives can come out. Because gate 13 is the center that's right above it is the throat center and the manifestation center. So it's connecting to a part in the energy body of someone that's telling you a story. And you have an opportunity to hear their story and perceive their story and then share your perspective. You're a safe place for others' secrets and stories at this time. So people may really be divulging secrets to you and hoping that you can help them have a different perspective. Also, what you hear may determine where you go and who you align yourself with and how you perceive yourself. So when you listen to people, you often find the gem in the pain of a story that you hear and leave their heart more at peace than before. Some people will really come to you and vent. Your perspective will help them. You may hear the pain in someone's story and it will profoundly impact you. The pain or the shadow of this gate, though, is you can get stuck in old stories or hold on to past pain. These can cause you to hold on to victim mindset and consequently hold you back from the goodness and the peace of life. Sometimes the big secrets of others can feel burdensome. Okay, so watch who you allow to just dump on you at the end of the month. If you're hearing a lot of difficult stories, it can just keep you held back in a victim mindset. The key here is to tell yourself a better story of your own life. Have an honest, compassionate approach to your life choices at this time as well. Reframe the stories you tell yourself and those that have been told to you, to unlearn anything that makes you believe that you are not worthy of love, abundance, and all good things. Use your strategy and authority to know what stories to tell and when, and know what stories to listen to. Yes. Also, this is an abundance mindset with love of spirit coming out. This restores innate goodness and facilitates trust where it's been lost. So there may be an opportunity at the end of the month to reestablish trust between yourself and someone else or with others. There's also a focus on healing emotional wounds that have knocked you out of a trust mindset. Some of you have been distrustful. You're trying to get back into a mode of trusting others. This is about needing to reopen the heart so that love and trust can flow freely. That came out in your tarot reading as well. The abundance mindset. You trust that you are fully supported, which allows you to create without constraint. Creating without constraint. That's fantastic. When you know your needs and desires are being fulfilled, you can create beyond what people believe is possible, showing them the way to their own manifestations. Oh, you could really influence others in a positive way right now too, Sagittarius. Also, I think you're going to be very aware of how other people may or may not have been gaslighting you in some way, like keeping you stuck in their old story and needing to disconnect from that. The frequency of energy you hold impacts the world, allowing for greater potential and possibility. Be open to possibilities. The shadow trait that may come out for you, though, is any limiting beliefs can affect your abundance. You can be indecisive. You might be indecisive right now. A lack mindset can have you keeping more of yourself, hoarding, to soothe your fears of running out of resources. Some of you are afraid of running out of resources. You may hoard a little bit right now. Maybe afraid to let some things go. And this can exhaust you, okay? Pushing to create instead of trusting in the universal support. So some of you need to have a growth mindset, not a fixed or a lack mindset. And recognize any place where you might be holding back in some way. Yeah. Let's talk about your gemstone activations. This stone here represents spirit. This stone here represents the head center, the top chakra. This one right here represents your ego center, your heart center in human design. I follow human design, which creates an energy body of 9 centers. We are 9-centered beings. So this is your head center. This is your heart, willpower, ego center, and this is your root center, your drive center. Consequently, these 3 centers are not connected to one another directly in energetic circuitry. They have to go through other channels and other centers to ultimately connect to one another. So I am seeing in general that you might feel pulled between 2 different parts of your life right now. You also have a tower that came out. The tower fell right here between the top chakra, the head center, and spirit, which is universal consciousness, spirit itself. You are very connected to the heavenly realms at this time. I see a huge focus on spirituality and allowing new information to come in. New information may come in and impact you in a very spiritual way. You may have some massive epiphanies at the end of the month. This may challenge your belief systems as well. Lots of aha moments coming out for you. I'm also hearing that you will have claircognizant downloads about your future. Not a huge focus on worrying about other people. because we did not get the instinct center coming out. Not super worried about survival 100% at this time either. Some of you might be, but that's just not what's coming out. Keep in mind, this is general. You're open to receiving new information. Some of you will have something massive happen for you at the end of the month. Massive change in belief systems. With the willpower ego center coming out, the heart center, this is the part of you that has healthy ego fulfillment through the material plane. Some of you are very focused on career and making money. Some of you will feel or will want to feel very, very good about yourself in regards to what you do. The heart and the ego center, there's a lot about that that's projected onto the material plane. You are projecting a lot of your own willpower and ego into the material plane. Some of you see yourselves as leaders. There could be anxiety this week with the root center coming out. Definitely needing to get in touch with drive. If you follow human design, some of you will notice when you look at your design and your chart that for some of you, these centers are undefined and opened, which just means they weren't kissed by the sun a few months before your birth. Others of you have defined head center, ego center, and root center, which means the sun did impact those parts of your energetic body a few months before you were born. So you have consistent access to them. Some of you do, some of you do not. They're still in focus. Some of you will be in your head a little too much, but I don't think it's going to completely distract you away from what you are driven towards and fulfilling the healthy ego at this time. I also think that you have an opportunity to be very influential here. Very good at convincing others of what they need. I also think that any downloads that you get from spirit and any information that pours in, you might not see the direct connection, but it will significantly impact where you put your energy of your heart and what you are driven towards. A lot of drive and desire to accomplish quite a bit quickly. Don't get too anxious about that. I'm seeing if any more messages come through. Other people will be looking to you for your drive, your willpower, your ego, the information that comes to you. Very impactful, very influential week for you. Very focused on the self. Very driven towards what fulfills you personally and success on the material plane. And it's kind of separate from the spiritual quality to your life right now. I do sense that for some of you, change is coming. Something needs to change. You're preparing for it. You're excited about it. Some of you will get some information that makes you realize, like, with these gates that are coming out, like, I do need to honor my mood, and I do need to think about the story that I'm telling myself. With gate 55, we're very much being asked, is the glass half full? Is the glass half empty? Am I surrounding myself with people that tell me good stories versus bad stories? I'm also hearing that some of you will interpret things that other people tell you, with this head activation and this tower between spirit and yourself. You can see very clearly what's going wrong for other people in a way that they themselves can't see it. I'm also hearing that some of you are going to have like a really positive reality check where you'll be like, you know what, I was really down on myself and thought less of myself for a while. And the truth is, I'm doing a lot better than I think I am. And figuring out a way to work with your adrenaline, to work with the stress hormones. And I definitely see you titrating up into your sympathetic nervous system for sure, where you're preparing for something, where You feel excited. You might even have like a little bit of anger or irritation at times, some restless energy, but it can definitely be channeled at the end of the month towards what helps you be successful and what you have the willpower to achieve and project out into the world. I also think you can smell money right now. And you will be driven towards that. It's like these two very different parts of you will be activated that aren't necessarily talking to one another. They're not distracting away from one another either. It's just like there's this very spiritual part of you right now that's being developed, and then very focused on the mundane 3D world about like, what do I have the willpower for? Am I able to create abundance in my life? What am I driven towards and why? And it's not connecting to instincts or sacral. It's more about putting energy towards things rather than responding to things. I think I'm picking up quite a bit on my mental projectors, those of you with emotional authority, and also those of you that definitely are feeling like, yeah, it's not about what you respond to. It's about what you're driven towards and what kind of impact you can have at this time and being really fulfilled by that. They're pulling back and they're telling me to stop. All right, Sag, that's your Gemstone and Human Design activation reading. This is my first time doing it. I started with you guys. I'm going to try to go through the whole zodiac. So hopefully these will get better. I hope this resonated with you guys and I hope it helps. Link to the website for private tarot, human design, and astrology is down below. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Sag. I love you guys. Bye. I'll see you next time.